Hi, I'm Angie. Welcome to RV 360 by National Indoor RV Centers, where we have all the details on the latest coaches. NIRVC is a trusted resource with RV lifestyle specialists who are here to help you find your dream coach. NIRVC also supports you well after the sale with storage, service, and detailing. So basically, we do it all. Hi, I'm Angie with National Indoor RV Centers, and today I'm super excited to show you the 2027 Tiffin Open Road Allegro. Now we're going to go over the 34 PA floor plan, so don't be fooled. I know everyone's going to think that's 34 feet. It's actually 36 feet 1 inch, and it's 12.2, I believe, in height. So you need to have a garage of about 14 feet for this to go in. This is your gas, #1 selling gas Class A coach. #1 selling floor plan too. So this is a really great coach to view. This is great for families. If you want to have, get your kids out there on the road or extra guests, you're going to have plenty of sleeping area, but we'll get into all that in just a minute. Before I go into depth, and I do like to go into depth, I want to give you all the details. These are expensive coaches, so I want to share as much information as I can with you, so it will be very detailed. If you want to see a specific part of my review, I've got chapters. I break it down so you can go right to that chapter that you're looking for, but make sure you come back and watch the whole video so that you can see this awesome coach. So I love doing these videos. I love giving you all the details, but what I love to do even more is sell these beautiful coaches. So you need to make sure that your first call is to National Indoor RV Centers. We do it differently. We store coaches, we sell coaches, we do paint and body, we do service. It's a whole package. We want to have customers for life, and we want to take care of you. So make sure you give us a call. We're going to make the buying experience fun and enjoyable. You can take these out on test drives. You can order them exactly like you like them, but you got to give us a call. And then I don't want to hear we weren't located in the state that you live in or the city that you live in. We have 5 locations currently, with more on the way, so stay tuned for that. But we do have a fly to buy program, so that if you don't live in the area, if we don't have a dealership in the area that you live in, we will fly you in to take delivery of your coach. And our delivery is a great experience. We want you to come in. We're going to do a thorough walkthrough of the coach, teach you how to use the coach, and then we'd like for you to stay a couple nights with us on the lot. Get comfortable in your coach, learn how it all works, push all the buttons and do all that before you leave. It's just a better buying experience. So that's something, not only do we offer it, but we really want you to stay a couple nights with us so you are comfortable before you leave. So make sure you check out our Fly to Buy program. And then if you enjoyed these videos and you would like to see more like them, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and then hit the little bell. That will alert you anytime I drop a new video. And if you happen to have comments, if there's something you'd like to see more of, if there's something that you think I missed, please leave me a comment. I'd love to help you and love to get back to you on that. So my videos will only get better as I hear from you. So thanks so much for watching. Now let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to start at the very top. We have a one-piece molded fiberglass roof. We've got our antenna, then we've got our marker lights across the top. Then we have this big windshield. The big windshield is a big deal to me. And for me, this is why you buy a Class A gas or diesel coach, because this is your motion picture movie screen. As you're going down the road, you get to see it in HD through this big, huge windshield. So that's a big selling point for me. Then we've got our windshield wipers. So here we've got our mid marker lights, and then we've got our headlights. I love how they've done the Tiffin here in this decorative area here. And then we've got the Open Road by Allegro. Now let's talk about what chassis this sits on. So this sits on the Ford F53 Super Duty chassis. It's got the 7.3 liter engine, V8, it's a Godzilla engine. You've got to come drive it and experience it. Of course, we'll do a little test drive in a minute. And then it's got 350 horsepower and 468 of torque. Let's go ahead and check out this compartment. All right, so inside here, we've got our brake fluid, power steering fluid. We've got our horns, and then down below is our windshield wiper fluid. And then right up here, we've got the fill for our oil. our engine air intake. So then we have our cooling package, the shoebox size one, that's for our power steering. Then the one behind that radiator is for our transmission. Behind that is the AC, and behind that is the engine. As far as radiator maintenance goes, you can see that there's some bugs and debris in there. You want to make sure that you just kind of clean that off lightly. Take your garden hose, put your thumb over it, and just kind of gently clean that off. It's just going to help it work more efficiently. So you don't have to do it every trip, but you know, a lot of these trips, you'll see what kind of bugs end up on your windshield. You're going to have the same kind of thing on your radiator. Then we've got the dipstick for our oil, dipstick for our transmission fluid. We've got our light there, so that's nice to have. Our coolant and our chassis battery. Here on the passenger side, we have our chrome exterior mirrors. They are heated and internally controlled, and then you're going to see a little camera on that side mirror. That's going to give you a full shot of the passenger side of the coach and the driver's side of the coach when you turn on your turn signals, which is really nice just to know that you don't have someone in your blind spot. That's great. Then we've got our first marker light for the passenger side of the coach. And then you're also going to notice this little diamond shield logo here. So we've got diamond shields across the front cap to protect our front cap, because we have lots of bugs and debris on there. So that's going to help protect, but you know what's going to even help it protect it even more? Once you buy your coach, you need to come to us and get it ceramic coated. So we've partnered with Bob Moses Ceramic Coat. They use the best product in the country. Sencha is our ceramic coating, and let me tell you, it makes your coach look like $1,000,000. It gives us this mirror-like look, and then it helps protect your paint. So it just is a no-brainer. You can do your tow vehicle as well. In fact, most people come to the tow vehicle and then they do their individual, their personal vehicle, but they don't even take RVing with them. It's a great product. So make sure you check out my video on ceramic coating, and then look at this beautiful, fully painted Class A gas coach. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is the frosted granite exterior, and there's of course others that you can choose from. Just give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers and we can walk you through that. You can pick your own color out if we don't have the exact color that you want. Check out the frameless tinted windows throughout. They just look really nice. Again, gives that nice bus-like appearance. And then you're gonna notice a little window here. So the first time I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's for your little pets. You know, they can sit down there by your feet and see outside. That is true. It's also for the driver. So when you're parking your coach, you just have another ability to look from the driver's seat out, see the curb, see where you are. Just another viewpoint as you're parking and, you know, navigating this big coach. The open road comes with the Michelin 255 tires, so tire safety is super important. In fact, it's so important the National Indoor RV Centers has a run flat device made specifically for motorhomes. So our CEO, Brett Davis, and a gentleman from Australia that has been in the armament industry for his whole career came up with the run flat because we really wanted to protect our customers, protect their investment, protect their lives. Make sure you check out my retro brand video. We have the beautiful aluminum Alcoa wheels. Along with your ceramic coat, you can also ceramic coat your windows and your wheels. So that's just the little upgraded package. It's kind of a no-brainer to do the whole thing. But again, just keeps your coach looking amazing. And basically you can just rinse it off when you get to the resort and it's gonna look like $1,000,000. With Tiffin, you get the Noble Select walls. It's an automotive-like fiberglass. There is no wood. So again, you don't have to worry about that DLAM. And then it is, you know, it resists the elements and pretty much it's impact and puncture resistant. So here at the front door, we have a great LED porch light, so you're gonna safely get in and out of your coach. Then we've got the Tiffin logo. I love that. And we've got the power step. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up. That's gonna come out every time you open the door until you turn that power step off, and I'll show you where that button is in a little bit, but let's go ahead and get us some shade here. So I'm gonna go ahead and extend our Girard awnings, and the button is just above the co-pilot seat inside the coach. All right, so now that I've got the awning fully extended, I've turned on the LED lights, which is nice, gives it a nice little ambiance out here in the evening. And then, of course, I'm gonna wanna watch a little TV, watch the evening game. So Open that up, it's super easy. And then we've got our TV. We can just pop that out and it does swivel. So you can put it in the best spot away from the sun. And we've got our sound bar up here. We also have a USB-C and a USB charging port there. Then midship, we have our passenger side security light. Right next to that is the vent for your microwave. Then we have a nice big kitchen window. So our first compartment here, huge compartment, they're lit, and we've got a little bit of, I wouldn't call it pass-through because you've got some hoses on the other side, but you do have some extra space up top for some longer items. And I need to remember, you don't have to slam Tiffin doors. That's a great thing. They are super strong. I can literally, look, all my weight, and that door's not gonna move. What is really fantastic about that is that when we've got our slide outs out, and as we're getting older, you know, we're bending down, we're putting stuff into our bays here. We've got pass-through in this one. But as we go to get up, a lot of times, what do? We grab that handle and we use that to help us get up. So this is a door you can do that on and you're not gonna have any problems. So I love their doors. And then this is the other thing I love about them. Like, no slamming the door. And I'm so used to doing it. I remember when I first started selling coaches, I was like, I barely shut them. They're like, Angie, they're slam doors. Well, now I've got to learn they're not slam doors. You can just shut them like I used to when I first started. So check out this storage compartment, though it's huge. I'm going to open up the other one because there is no divider there. So it really optimizes the use of that space. And then it's passed through all the way across the top. Inside here, we've got this filter for our central vac. We've got the hoses and everything for our central vac up there. Then we have our Truma AquaGo. That's going to be our on-demand water heater. And I'm just gonna open that up to show you. Now you need to make sure that you have it in the on position, either here or here. Just if it's in the center, you're not gonna get any hot water. It's not gonna turn on. So you need to do that. There's winterizing instructions out here. If you are a storage customer at National Indoor RV Centers, you don't need to worry about winterizing your coach because it's indoors. So you can really use your coach all the seasons. As long as you're, you know, keeping it warm when you're out on the road. But if you do need to winterize, we can do that for you. Also, this is where you would put those tablets in if you want to clean the tank. Next up, you're probably wondering what this is. Well, this is one of those really great features. I know it seems like, oh, do we want another cutout in our coach? But this makes a lot of sense because it gives serviceability to the back of your refrigerator. There's nothing more frustrating than if you have an issue with your refrigerator, then you have to pull that out inside the coach. They can actually get to the back of it here, and that makes it a lot easier. So Tiffin's kind of thought of everything in that regard. Then we have another marker light for the passenger side. And inside here, we can see I believe this is our freshwater tank. So we have a 70-gallon freshwater tank. We have a 66-gallon gray tank and a 50-gallon black tank. And you can see we've got our sensors on here. So that's going to help give you that reading inside the coach as to how full your tanks are. And then we've got our freshwater tank drain here. Then right next to the tanks here, we've got our potable water fill. So if you're dry camping and you're not connected to city water, you need to fill water, this is where you put it in. Also, if you wanted to sanitize your freshwater tank, you'd put those tablets in here as well. And then we just keep that locked so that your water stays safe and secure. Next up is our propane tank. So we have a 20-gallon propane tank, and then we've got a quick connect right here. So if you want to hook up the grill and fire up the hamburgers or the steaks, you can easily do that here. And then we have another big pass-through area here. This is nice. You can put your paddles in there, your oars, fishing poles, lots of great things in that nice kind of narrow space, but it is pass-through. Next up are our house batteries. We have our 4 house batteries, and then we've got our inverter switch and our house battery disconnect. So if we are not lucky enough to have you as a storage customer at National Indoor RV Centers, where we store at least 300 coaches at all of our locations, plugged in, at all times, so you don't, like I said, don't have to worry about winterizing stuff. If you're not storing with us, and if you're not storing somewhere where you've got where you're plugged in, then you want to make sure you're hitting those disconnects on your inverters, your house batteries, on your chassis batteries, because you don't want to have that parasitic draw. Nothing worse than coming back to a dead coach. And your batteries do pull out easily on this tray for servicing. So here at the back of the coach, first of all, look at that beautiful rear cap. We've got our high marker lights. Then you're gonna see that device there on the right-hand side. That is where your telescoping ladder will hook into that so you can safely get up onto the top of your roof. Now, you don't need to do that again. National Indoor RV Centers, we're happy to do those roof inspections for you. Much safer that way. But if you are a handyman, you wanna do that yourself, you can easily attach your telescoping ladder and get up there safely. Then we've got our rear view camera. We've got the Tiffin badging, which looks phenomenal. Open Road Allegro. And then we've got our fuel fill for our 80-gallon gas fuel tank. We've got our 5,000-pound hitch and our 7-way for our tow vehicle. For the ride and drive of the open road, you've got the rear sway bar, which comes standard, and you also get the custom tuned sack shock absorbers. So that's gonna help take the, the bumps and bruises of the road and make it a much better ride on the inside. As I come around on the driver's side, you're gonna see an exhaust here. That's gonna be for our generator, which I will get to that compartment. And then we've got our pure sine wave inverter, 2,000 watts there by Xantrex. We've got our 50 amp shore power cord, and we've got the little area here that we can just thread that cord through, and then we're still able to shut the doors and seal off our compartments and keep those safe. And then we have the surge guard transfer switch. And that is super important. That gives you one line of protection. I always recommend with these coaches, all the electronics and everything that's involved, that you give a second protection. So either add another surge guard protector at the end of your 50 amp shore power cord. Now that you can like zip tie to it and try to keep it safe. Hopefully no one will take it. There's always that, that opportunity, I guess, if someone were to do that. Or you can have National Indoor RV Centers wire a second one right into this compartment here. That just gives you a backup layer of protection against, bad electricity at a park. Next up is our 7,000 watt Awning generator. And then we've got that pass-through area above. We have our dryer vent, and then our exhaust for our furnace, marker light, engine exhaust, and our wet bay here. So here is where we do all the dirty work, I'd like to say. Now, if you're new to RVing and you're not sure how all this works, I've got a great video for you to watch. Go watch my RVing 101 series. It's a 4-part series. I go from planning the trip, going on the trip, hooking everything up, and then the next morning breaking everything down, give you some little tips and tricks along the way. And we also have some customers that do a little cameo for me that kind of tell some of their best tips and tricks. So I think that's really helpful if you're new to RVing. Even if you're not, you might learn something new, or you'll get a good recipe from me at the least bit. So here in our wet bay, we've got everything. You'll notice that it's all these cutouts. And I know that sounds silly, but that's a big deal, because a lot of times manufacturers will print on there, but then that gets, it fades away. This is not going to fade away. So here's your water heater bypass, your tank flush, your city water connection. You've got your cable tripod here for cable input and internet. And then if you want to add a mobile solar panel, you can plug that in here. Here's the light for the compartment, and you can turn on the water pump. 2 110 outlets, your city water or your tank fill lever. Then we've got our exterior shower. This is great if you've been at the beach all day, or if you've been off, hiking or whatever, you want to rinse off before you get into your coach. You can do that here with the hot and cold. This is going to help you change your water filter, which is right there. You have a full house water filter, and then you have your hot and cold low point drains here. Right underneath, you've got the T-bars for your black tank and your gray tank. Your water pump, again, more low point drains. If you're winterizing your coach, you'll need to make sure you empty all those drains. And then here's where you thread your sewer hose or stinky slinky through here. and then you're still able to shut that compartment. Even if you're hooked up to city water, that can thread through there, and you can still seal off your wet bay compartment. Next up, we have a locked compartment there. Again, that's for serviceability to some of your plumbing. We have another exhaust here. And then we have a huge storage compartment, pass through at the top. And again, no divider there, so it optimizes the use of that space. And then you get the sewer kit that comes with your coach. Next up, we have the hydraulic pump and reservoir. You've got hydraulic slides. You also have hydraulic jacks on this coach, so that's really nice to have both of those things. You're gonna be amazed when we get inside and I take out the slides. I'm telling you, they're so fast because they're all hydraulic. They move in and out very quickly, which is nice because a lot of manufacturers, you hold the button forever, but you just need to be aware that it's gonna move very quickly, so make sure everyone's aware the slides are going in or out. And then we've got another big storage compartment here. Lots of storage on this 36-foot coach. Really impressed with the amount of storage for a gas coach. Kind of feels very much like a diesel pusher as far as the storage goes for me. So maximum storage on the outside, and then you're gonna see how roomy it is on the inside. We've got our exterior mirrors for the driver's side, our camera for the driver's side, marker light. As much as I liked showing you the outside, I'm even more excited about this inside and the floor plan, best-selling floor plan. Let's go check it out. As I step into the open road, there's a couple things that I absolutely love. First of all, we have a nice sturdy grab bar. Don't take that for granted because like even feel it, it's like nice and firm. So you can safely get in and out. Our steps are lit, so that's really nice so you can see where you're walking. And then in this top step, got a little buttons here. I can unsnap that and I have storage there. So that's nice if you want to keep the dog food there or leashes or maybe covers for your shoes and you're, cleaning things up. Nice to have that little spot right at the entrance of your coach. Then we have this great, nice big window. You can see we're having a little rainstorm here. So you may hear a little bit of that rain in the background because it's really coming down. And then right as I walk in, I love this first spider panel that we have. This is a gas coach and it's really nice to have this feature in it. You won't see that in every gas coach. So you've got your battery disconnect for your house batteries and then your step power on and off. So once I'm to the campground and I know I'm going to be here, I don't want that step coming out every time I open the door, so I'm going to turn it off. Then we've got our home button here, which is going to be our porch light, our entry light here, and then our living room light, our floor light. So you can see that's our little light that I get when I walk in, and our hall light. So I can kind of turn on main lights, again, safely getting in and out of the coach. And then I can do my master light button, which will turn everything off. And then the backlight just turns off this panel. Then I can check my battery levels here. So I can look at my house batteries and my chassis batteries, and I can check my tank levels. And then this just goes to my screen setting and brightness. Welcome to the beautiful interior of the 34 PA. Now this is the Night Wanderer interior package. We've paired it with the sandstone cabinets. You have other cabinet options that you can choose from and another interior package you can choose from. But this is a really nice neutral one, and I think it really works with everything. You can add your own color. I like how they do that, and I love how they finish it off. It just looks beautiful. Now as I go through the coach inside and outside, I'm going to try to tell you what's standard and optional, but always just make sure you give us a call at National Indoor RV Center so our RV lifestyle specialist can walk you through an order form or a build sheet and let you know what came standard on the coach, what came optional, because that can get confusing. That's one of the things that we are here to help you with. Now, one of the features that I love that you can option into this coach is this overhead bunk, because you don't even notice it when you come into the coach. You've got your nice, we've optioned in the recliners here, which is very, very, very popular. But a lot of people, once they get the recliners, they lose that sleeping area if it's a sleeper sofa. So now we've got the bunk. The bunk is also good for a couple reasons. So say you don't want to use it for a bunk. Say you want a secure place to store some valuable items to you. You can put them up there. This is a locked bunk. So without the key, I can't bring that down. So whatever I have up there is safe. Now with the key, I'm gonna go ahead and put that in, turn it, and then it's a power bunk. It will come right down. We have an additional sleeping area. We've got a twin size bed, some cabinets up ahead. So those are, you can either use those for storage for the person that's sleeping here in the bunk, or I'll open those up and you can use those just for your cab area. Now we've got a ladder that just connects right here so you can easily get up and down for the bunk. I would typically show you that, but it's pouring outside and I'm not gonna run outside and get it because it's in our storage compartment underneath the coach. Typically I would leave that inside the coach so you could easily get to that for your guests. So now I wanna show you, you don't get a lot of storage in these compartments, but there is some storage here. You also have your Starlink, which comes standard, and then you have two 110 available outlets. So for that person that's up in the bunk, they could access the 110 outlets for charging for their devices if they need to. So nice to have that. And then you've got an open compartment here. And here we've got two 110 outlets. Now this is, the top outlet is a disconnect. When the ignition is on, that top outlet will not work. And then we've got our Vega Touch, which is where all the feeds come in for our spider panel. Here we have the controls for our Girard awning outside. So we have the in and the out and the LED lights on and off, and then your close off switch. So you got to make sure if your awnings are not coming out, make sure you've got that switch on so that everything will operate, and then your stop button. If you only want to take out your awning so far, you can stop it. Here's the display for your Xantrax inverter. You can turn it on with the red button. You can also see faults and you can scroll through the different information. This is the button to extend and retract the slide room. And you've got those on both sides, the driver's side and the passenger side. So I've turned around the captain and the co-captain's chairs. This gives you two more seats in the living room area, and it gives you another recliner because your co-captain chair reclines. So that's kind of nice. You can adjust that chair so you're not hitting it, but that gives you a nice little spot there for your guests. And we opted in the theater seating. That is very popular with our guests. It seems to be one of the most popular features that we typically have. So these are so comfortable. Again, you have to come out and visit us to know how comfortable they are, but you can extend those and you can adjust that backrest so that it's perfect for you. Just really nice and comfy. And really, I think this is a second sleeping area. I would have no problem sleeping here. In fact, maybe I'll take a nap right now. I can't seem to get it back to the right position. Love that. Then you've got your cup holders. Oh, you also have a USB-C charging port between the power controls for the theater seats. Then in here, we've got two USB ports, and you've got all the storage, plus you have a little even in front. So if you want to hide some items, go right there. Behind the theater seats, we have the two 110 outlets, the two USB charging ports, our decorative light. We've got windows that open all the way around, so you're going to be able to easily have that cross breeze in the coach. And I love the big windows. Look at how beautiful that is, especially if you're in a great resort. And we've got the reading lights that you can direct underneath the cabinet, and you can push those on and off. And then on the other side of the window, we've got the dinette light, the sconce light, the ceiling light, two more 110 outlets. Again, windows that open, the light. Then let's check out the storage. So one of the things that Tiffin's always been known for is its storage. They have nice big cabinets, very deep. So huge selling point on the Tiffin side. And above our entry door, we've got storage here. This is a nice place so we can hang keys or put those things that you need when you're running in and out of the coach. We also optioned in the fireplace. Now the fireplace is one of my favorite features because it is the quickest way to take the chill off your coach. If you walk in, it's cold outside, you turn that on, it heats up so quick. So I love it. I love it for that reason. You've got the remote control, or you've got the push button controls here on the unit. So you can turn it on, you can adjust the flame, the color of the flame or the rocks, and then the temperature. So you can have it on just for ambiance, just the flame lit so it looks like there's a fire going, or you can have the heater on. You can even set timers. Great little feature, and it really cozies up the coach. Then above that, we've got a lot of storage. So this may not look like a lot of storage, but if you watch that RV in 101 series that I have, you'll see how we organize this space, and man, it holds a ton of, whether it's food. I mean, I kind of use this as a second pantry because it holds so much. So this is a standard dinette that comes in the 34 AP. You can option in another dinette too. So again, let us know if you want to look at it. This gives you a nice little seating area. I actually like this because you can look out the window as you're eating, have kind of a bar setting, or if you want to have the table that just locks up in place here. And then we've got the pull-out trays for both shelves. So if you want to work here, have your station here. If you want to use your big screen TV as a monitor, that's an option too. You have a port here for cords. And then on the center tower, you've got the two 110 outlets, and you've got again, a port that you can thread a wire through, and you've got that on both sides. Look at the nice big countertop that they've given you. You've got the USB charging port, and then you've got your TV lift. So check out the big window before I put up that TV. You've got the little tower of power here, 110 outlet, USB-C and USB. You can push that down, and then we can lift our TV up. We've got our big screen TV from Philips and our sound bar. So that's really nice, and then encased nicely. And when you want this table down, one of the things, it's just super easy. You've got two little tabs that you're gonna press it. You kind of lift it up, and then you can just gently set that down. And why I like this setup is when you bring your slide rooms in, having that table down, your chairs pushed in, you have a really nice big walkway with the slide rooms in. So now to the kitchen. Look at that nice big window that we get, beautiful backsplash, and then all this counter space. I love, now we do have our cooktop underneath here, but that just folds back and you have access to the 3-burner cooktop. And then when you're not using it, just put that cover down, and that gives you more counter space. Plus, you can even go into this area here. You can pull up your tabletop there. If you're having guests over, if you're having a Super Bowl party, look at all that area that you can put out food and drinks. So it's really nice for entertaining. So again, this is it's the 34 PA, 36-foot coach, but it feels a lot bigger than that to me. And it's just the way they've configured this whole area here. Nice storage. We've got Mr. Bob's signature here, adjustable shelves. Then we have our 3-in-1, our microwave convection air fryer. So you're gonna love that. And you've got a lot of little cook times over here for your air fry, for your microwave, for your baking. So makes that super easy. Another adjustable shelf, a nice big space here. As we come down, we've got our little touchpad for our ceiling lights, entry lights, our task lights, hall lights, our vent fan, which is right above the microwave there, and our water pump and our porch light. We have our dual bowl stainless steel sink. We have our sink covers, and we also have a spot for our sink covers down here when we're not using them. But what's nice about this, I can put my dirty dishes over here and then just cover it right up. I like that, but still can use the sink. And check out that space. Nice big space under here. Here's a Truma control, but this is not the one that you're going to use on a daily basis. It's going to be on the panels, so don't worry about that one. And then you have a spot for your garbage, which is always nice. Okay, now let's check out the drawer space. Lots of drawer space, even utensils, and we also have the soft close, so you're not going to have kids slamming doors. And more, and even more. Love that. So nice, big, deep, long drawers. So behind here is not really storage, but we have two 110 outlets and your GFCI switch for all the outlets. And we have our optional central back that we have optioned into this coach. Then we have our refrigerator, nice and big. This is definitely bigger than mine at my house. But it looks similar, water and Diet Coke. That's all you need, right? And then we've got our freezer with ice maker. Nice big freezer here. And we do have the lock on the refrigerator freezer. The last thing you want is your refrigerator or freezer coming open when you're in travel mode. So you want to have a checklist. If you don't have a pre-trip checklist, make sure you just send me an email, Angie@nirvc.com. I'll be happy to share mine, and that will at least get you started. Then across from the refrigerator, we've got the locking pantry. So pull out shelves, makes it really easy to get to all the contents there. And then since that could get kind of heavy, especially if you have canned goods and stuff, you can lock that compartment so that it doesn't open up during travel. So here's our main control panel for the coach. This is going to control most of your functions. You can also pair this to your phone so that you can do a lot of those functions on this tablet now on your phone. And it's the Mira app that you'll download. I'll show you that in a second here, but let's go ahead and get started and we'll talk about everything that's on this spider panel. Here on the home page, you've got the time. You can go to your settings. That right there is the page where you can pick your theme, adjust the screen brightness, set the time of day. You can update the system here, get diagnostics, go into cleaning mode so you can clean off this panel without activating a button. Your screen settings, wireless settings, your mobile app. So that's where you're gonna go download the Mira app from the App Store, and then you just follow the instructions here and you can pair it. Super easy. And it's also going to tell you which version you're running right now and which coach you're in. Then we go back to our home screen. We've got our house and chassis battery levels, also letting us know the temperature in the rear and the front of the coach. And then we've got our tank levels, our LP level. We can turn on our water heater from here and our water pump. And then we've got our living room light, task light, entry light, backlight, and then our generator. So we can start and stop the generator from here. Next, we go into our main light panel. So again, it's gonna have each section of the coach. You can turn that on and off: living room, floor, task, dinette, hall, and sconce. And then your bedroom and bath, and your entry and exterior lights. This is going to let us know what power we're bringing into the coach. So right now you can see that we are connected to shore power and our house battery level, our chassis battery level. This is also where we can go into our generator here. So it's going to show us the generator hours, and then we can go to easy setup, which is basically going to walk us through setting up the triggers for our generator. And it will give you suggestions here. Then you can set it where you want it and walk through that process. Or you can go back and go to manual setup, and then it's all just kind of on one page. So you set the triggers for you when you want that auto gen to start. If it drops below 80%, how many times you want it to retry, what's the minimum running time, the maximum running time, and when you want it to stop. So we've just set it all up. Now we can just go here. We can enable the auto gen start, and then we can cancel it here as well. Next is our temperature control here. So we have the rear and the front of the coach, and we can set the temperature easily just by doing that, or we can go up and down, and we can sync our zones really easily. So you got your AC, you've got your furnace, you've got your off button, then your fan controls high, low, and auto. So then we can go to our slide room controls. So on Tiffin coaches, you need to have the ignition on and the park brake set, or your slide rooms will not go in or out. Then you've got each slide room extend and retract. Super easy. And then we have our fan controls for the galley fan, for the mid-bath fan, high, low, and off. So this is one of the features I like about this plan. This is going to take us into our bathroom. So we can enter this way. We can go into our master right here, but we also have access to the bathroom from the master. So come on in here. We've got our toilet with the push pedal control, storage behind the toilet, and our toilet paper holder, towel bar behind. Great storage, great linen closet. You don't always get that. And then you've got a tablet here for your bathroom light, your water pump, your fan, and your vent fan. And then across from the toilet, we've got our shower. So we have a nice big enclosure here, lots of room. And then you've got plenty of room here too. We've got the lit, skylit. So right now we have a light, but I can open that up, even more light, and then more height if I need it. So for our taller guests, they're gonna be fine. We've got the handheld wand here. And I do love that it's got the on and off control right there. So you can do that military shower if you're trying to conserve water, lather up, you know, then turn the water on and rinse off. And it also comes with the AquaView shower miser. This is a great feature. This is going to save the water in your freshwater tank and in your gray tank. So this is going to, when you turn the dial, it's going to recycle the water until it's warm. Most of the time we turn on our water, let it get hot, and then, you know, we waste all that water from our fresh tank, and then we needlessly fill up the gray tank. So you're going to turn the dial here. When this lights up, that means that the water is warm, and then you'll turn the dial so that water will now come out. You've got your hot and cold controls here, a place for your shampoos, and you've got the shower assist handle, which is great. And you've got the little kick here so you can easily shave your legs. I also love that on the bathroom door, we've got the towel rods here. So we have 3 rods, and that's just nice. I always like to have a place for the towel so they're not laying on the ground or the bed or wherever they're left. And then you can option in the washer and dryer, which we've done here, Splendid washer and dryer. That makes this a coach that's very livable. If you want something that you can live in, you can easily do that full time in this coach, or if you just want it for vacations, if it's your lake house, your beach house, your mountain lodge, it's all here. Then as we move into the vanity area, we have our nice sink, our faucet, backsplash, 2 110 outlets, nice counter space. We have some room to put a makeup bag, some of our supplies, and then check out the storage below the sink. Nice drawer space. And behind our mirrors, great big medicine cabinet, nice and deep. And our towel hook. Now as I come into the master, just to let you know, you've got a door that shuts you off from the bathroom, and you just push that down and pull it shut. And then we walk in, we have our nice little space here. We have our emergency egress window, and we have 2 USB charging ports, 2 110 outlets. Nice big storage compartment. And then check out all of this drawer space. Nice big drawers. And my favorite, a hamper. Put all the dirty stuff there. So then you can just shut those up. And again, you've got that soft closed drawer. Makes it really nice. And check out this wardrobe. We've got our mirror wardrobe with our wardrobe bar. It's lit. Now this right here is our exterior ladder. No wonder I couldn't find it earlier. It's inside the coach. So exterior ladder, that's going to be that telescoping ladder that you hook onto the back, the rear of the coach if you need to get on the roof. And more wardrobe space. Then we have our headboard, our nice big king size bed, storage above. We've got our night lights that we can just push on here. We can adjust where that light goes. And we also have another directable light on both sides of the headboard. You've got windows that open so you can get that nice cross breeze. And then you've got all the storage above. You've got 2 110 outlets up here, and you have the exact same thing on the other side. Right next to your nightstand, you've got 2 110 outlets on both sides. And then on the other side of the bed, you've got lighting controls, the master on and off switch, your porch light, and then your panel light. So you can turn all those lights off at night so they're not going to keep you awake. Then you're going to notice you've got some extra space here. I love that because you're going to be able to easily make your bed without ripping off your jewelry or your nails. And we also get under the bed storage. So look how nice, big, and deep the storage compartments are. Then we have the nightstands on both sides. So we've got a little spot here where we can set a CPAP machine or our books, whatever we need. USB, USB-C, and a little cubby on both sides. Then we have our bedroom TV. You've got a little chain here you can pull to release that TV, and then you can direct it more towards the bed for better viewing. And then you just push it back in and lock it in place. More storage here. You have 4 110 outlets, another 110 outlet below here. You've got your cable input, more drawer space. So really, aren't you impressed with all the storage inside and outside this coach? So I always like to show the coach with the slides in so you can see. Now, if you needed to sleep on your bed without taking the slides out, you totally could. You have full access to the bed. You also have access to your refrigerator and your freezer. I mean, you can't get it all the way open, but you could get, you can get the ice cream out if you need to. And then you have full access to the sink, the stovetop, to your bathroom. And then look at all the space that you get here in the center of your coach and in your living room space with that nice dinette shut up. You have all this nice free walking space. So we're finally to the cockpit area here. Want to let you know about these chairs. They are very comfortable. And then you have all the controls here so you can push them forward or back, and you can lower the front or raise that. Same with the back, so that you can get it just in the right position for you. And then we've got this handle here. When you pull that out, that's what allows you to turn the chair around into the living room area. And on the handle, on the armrest here, you've got a little button there that allows you to put that at just the right height so that you're super comfortable when you're driving. So to the left of me, we have the HWH computerized leveling system or hydraulic levelers. So you can see right now that we're in travel mode. Now I want to go ahead and put the jacks down. I'm just going to hit auto level. And then these lights are going to light up as the coach starts to level itself. When you have 4 solid dots in each 4 corners, then you're level. Now, if you can't level for some reason, it's going to give you a warning that there's an excessive slope, or it may warn you that your park brake isn't set. You want to make sure that is set before you go to level, just so that there's no movement in the coach as the jacks try to come down. Then if you need to manually level, if you're in a kind of a weird spot, you're not able to do the auto level, you can do the different areas individually with these buttons. Once you're ready to leave your campground and hit the road, you're just going to hit auto store, watch all the jacks come up, and then when the travel mode lights up, you're ready to go. So here we have our wireless charging pad. We have the controls for our exterior mirrors and the defrost for our exterior mirrors. This is your aux start. So this is what others call like your battery boost. This is when you come back to your coach and let's say you can't get it started. So you want to tie your chassis and your house batteries together to kind of get that chassis started. You push that button, tie them together. If it won't start, push the button, get the generator started, let it start to charge your batteries, and then try that again. This is a lifesaver in a lot of situations. Right below here, we've got the little cubby for all of our miscellaneous items. Here we have the panel for our lights. So this is going to dim and brighten your display panel here. So if I take it down, or I can take it up so that it's super bright. Sometimes at night they can get too bright. Then you've got your lights here. So you've got them off, your running lights, your headlights, and your auto lights. This is where you're going to push on your park brake. So you just push that down, and then when you're ready to leave, you're just going to pull that up, push it down to set it. And here on the steering wheel, we've got the lever here so that we can adjust the steering column. Here on the steering column, we have our turn signal control. We can pull that back to flash them or push it forward to keep our high beams on. And then you have your windshield wiper control. And if you push this button here, you're going to get the windshield wiper fluid. So here's our transmission control. This is going to, we put our foot on the brake and then we can move to reverse, neutral, drive, and then manual. You also have your tow haul mode, which is going to reduce the shifting time when you're towing heavier items. Here we've got our hazards, and then we have our traction control. If you need to turn that off, you can just hit that button there. You can see that it's on or off. So here on the steering column itself, these buttons are going to allow me to scroll through information on my dash. So I can go to my main menu and I can see my trip information 1, trip information 2, fuel economy, driver assist, so I can look at my engine hours, voltmeter, maintenance monitor, which is going to give me my oil life. Then we have the program range selection, so you can click in here and then you can limit the gears that you're going to be in when you're driving in the mountains and such. And then we have our settings, so you have your vehicle, your lighting, your forward pass, and your display settings, temperature, language, units, etc. Then we have our cruise control, so we just turn it on here. We can set the cruising speed. We can decrease and increase it as we are in the cruise control mode. We can resume and cancel and turn it off. And then we have our horn. So here's our Garmin display screen. We've got the on and off button here. This is your home screen. We've got the on and off button for your radio, so we can turn that on. It will load and then you can scroll through your stations and turn it off. You can mute it there. Then we can go to our individual buttons here. We can pair our phone to Bluetooth. And then this is our main screen. So a lot of these buttons are going to be more functional once you download and sign up and sign into your Garmin account. Then we have 2 screens here. So we have the tools screen, which is all this right here. This is where you can find your cameras. And then you can go back. You've got your owner's manuals there, service history. You can go through all of this. And then you can go to your navigation. So this is where you can put in, obviously, the address that you're headed to. It will track local campgrounds. You can track back just the way that you came from. I'm not going to go through all of those because they're pretty self-explanatory. Check the weather, trip planner. And then if you want to, you can take this whole screen off. So if you want if your co-pilot wants to put in the address, if you know they're the navigator, they can sit in that seat and do that really easy. And then you still have the controls here for your radio for the driver. Right below the Garmin screen, we've got our USB charging ports, and then we have our AC controls, our fan, and then the direction that we want that airflow, and our 12 volt. We have our map light. So you have the driver fan. Now you can use that to cool off the driver because this is a big screen and sometimes it can get a little bit warm, or you can turn that to help you defrost your windshield as well. Your front solar shade or sunshade, and then your night shade, your generator start and stop, your radio and camera. So this is basically when you're in the camping mode and you want to, have your dash radio play in the house, you're going to hit that button here. And then you have your passenger fan, same as the driver, just on the passenger side. And then we have our map light for the passenger side. Charging ports, USB and USB-C on both sides, the wireless charging port, and 2 cup holders. So on the passenger side, just as comfy. I've got 2 110 outlets in front of me. I've got my nice little cubby for storage and my wireless charging pad, and then just a little spot for, I can lay my cell phone, my armrest, same buttons that I had on the captain's chair, and then I've got my window that opens and shuts. All right, now for the fun part. Let's take this out for a test drive. One of the things I think you must do before purchasing is test drive the coaches. Now, if you've never driven a Class A coach, you're gonna feel like it's too big, it's too long, like, will it fit in my lane? You don't need to worry about that. You just look as far down the road as you can. You're going to be able to stay in the lane. The great thing about a gas coach is your tires are in front of you, just like in your car. So you're just going to watch your the back end to make sure that you're not going to cut the curb. But these mirrors are excellent. They are what I rely on all the time just to double check the rear end as I'm making turns, that I'm going to be safe. I always say to hug the left side of the lane that you're in. More things happen on, bad things happen on the right, you know, tree limbs, road debris, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. I've released the parking brake. Get your seat to where it's just the right position so that you're good to go. And drive, and we're off. It's just that easy, you know. And the one thing that I'd say, the best piece of advice when you're driving a Class A coach is just to take your time. Bad things happen when you're in a hurry. Kind of in general, that happens in life, right? But especially in a big coach, you've got to watch out for different things. You've got to watch out for, you know, rooftops of gas stations, different signs, street signs, tree limbs, all that kind of stuff. So if you're taking your time and you're aware of everything that's around you, you're not going to have a problem. Now, when I turn on my blinker, you can see that I can see down the full passenger side of my coach because I'm making a right-hand turn. Now that comes in really handy when you're changing lanes on the freeway. So I went ahead and got on the freeway. Now you're going to have a little bit more noise in a gas Class A because your engine's in front. So that's just something that's a given, but you know, it still gets you where you need to go. You can still have a conversation with your co-pilot. It's a great way to travel. And I do have on the front dash AC because it is a hot day here in Nashville. I also am running the generator, got the engine going, and I have the AC in the living area on too, because this coach, I want to take my family, so I'm going to have people in the living room area. I want them to be comfortable as we're going down the road, so you can run your generator and run your AC. So I'm going to go ahead now and set my cruise control. Now I can just sit back, take my foot off the pedal, relax, enjoy the ride. I think RVing keeps you young. It really does, because you're having new adventures, you're planning, you're mapping out your travels, you're finding places at parks, you're planning what you're going to go and do and see, and it just makes life more interesting, and you're creating memories. You're not just sitting there waiting for something to happen at your house. So I do love the RVing lifestyle for that. Now that I've got my cruise control on and set, I'm going to go ahead and do my decibel reader. I'm way impressed. I even did it twice to double check because, like I said, engine running, generator running, AC, dash AC on, and living room AC on. 67. Wow, I am so impressed with that. Now you're going to see me get to handle this, the coach, as I've taken an exit and I've got a tight turn ahead of me. And again, you know, what you haven't been seeing as I've been driving today is, so, you know, the gators, that's what they call the tires that come off semi trucks, all along the sides of the roads here. So that's when I say that you want to hug the left side of the lane that you're in. That's one of the reasons you don't want to hit those gators, those tires. They will cause a lot of damage. Now, I'm impressed because this is a tight turn here, and we've got that rear sway bar that's helping to not have too much of a lean. You're going to have a little bit of a lean in this, in the gas coach, but that does help that, and just handles really nicely. I'm very impressed with this coach. Again, this is a great way to get out, enjoy the outdoors, see the country, and you get to sleep in your own bed, get to make your own meals. You can go out if you want, but I know for myself, after I've been on the road for a while, I really want to make my own meals. I don't want to have whatever they're serving at the restaurants. I want to have a little bit more of a clean meal and sleep in my own bed. And then the other great thing about a coach, you're not constantly packing and unpacking for a trip because you can just leave your coach packed. I buy certain things for my coach, just leave them in there. Obviously, perishable things you're going to take out, but you know, have a set of clothes, have a set of things for the coach, and then at home, and it makes getting up and leaving for a little adventure really easy. Now, if you're wondering where your first adventure should be, I'm going to help you out. So when you purchase a coach from National Indoor RV Centers, we cover your first year dues for our all-inclusive motorhome club. And that gives you some discounts for service. It also makes you eligible to register and attend one of our AIM rallies. Our AIM rallies are phenomenal. Our events team is tasked with finding really beautiful resorts, getting a great price, and then creating memories and doing adventures that you might not do on your own. And it's sort of like a cruise in your coach, because you pay one fee, everything's included. So you just show up. You might want to go on a diet like a week or two ahead of time, because we feed you really well. We provide the drinks, we provide great entertainment, and then we provide a community. So RVers are just so great. They're nice, they want to help you. All you have to do is show up to a park and kind of put your finger on your head like something's troubling you, and you'll have 5 people run over trying to help you and figure out whatever problem you're having. If you need help backing up, someone's going to be there to help you. It's just a great, great, great community. And so our AIM Club really provides that experience. And I always tell customers the best thing to do after buying a coach, especially if you're new to the RVing market or RVing lifestyle, is to come to an AIM rally. You'll learn so much in 4 days from our seminars, from our customers. You'll learn more in 4 days than you'll learn in 6 months of RVing on your own. Now, if you're looking for a new coach, I have the perfect shopping research experience for you. So every year we do 2 expos. One in Nashville, Music City Motorhome Expo, end of May, 1st of June. Second one is out on the West Coast in Las Vegas in November. For 2026, it will be the 7th through 11th, which we are taking pre-registers, or you can get on the wait list to register, because we already have over 100 people on the wait list to register. So the expos are the best buying experience, because basically you can test drive any coach that we have on display. So you can do your little research ahead of time, or you can do all your research once you get to the expo. You can talk to the product engineers and designers. Our manufacturing partners show up. In the Music City Motorhome Expo, we introduced a new model year, so you get the first chance to buy those brand new model year coaches. And in our November Expo, we're going to have great coaches as well. Some that are just coming off the line because they were ordered at the expo, at the first expo, the Music City Motorhome Expo. Now they're coming off the line at our Las Vegas one. We order some in between. You have the best selection to choose from. It's not high pressure. It's a boutique shopping experience. We cover all your food and drink, and we have great entertainment. The last couple of years, we've had Sarah Evans, Diamond Rio, Scotty McCreery, Josh Turner, and this year at the Music City Motorhome Expo, we have the band Perry and Chris Young. So phenomenal entertainment. We also do some singer-songwriter rounds, an evening shopping event where we light up all the coaches so you can see what they look like at night. It's just a phenomenal event. You do, your ticket price is refunded back to your purchase within a year of the expo. You just have to buy new, used, consigned coach from National Indoor RV Centers within a year of the expo, and we refund your ticket price. We also give you some travel reimbursement. So if you buy a Class A diesel or gas coach, we give you, and a Super C, we give you $2,000 back towards your travel expenses. If you buy a B or a C, we give you $1,000 back towards your travel expenses. So really, the expos cost you nothing other than you get all this valuable information, have a great time, and you're able to pick out either a coach that we have there at the expo, or we can order exactly what you want. So it's a no-brainer. Go to National Indoor RV Center's website, so NIRVC.com. Go to our events tab, and then just scroll down, and you can find out more information about all the expos and register there. I hope you've enjoyed my tour today of the 2027 Tiffin Open Road 34 PA. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what this awesome coach would cost. Well, its MSRP is $310,785. Now, never pay MSRP. And remember, with National Indoor RV Centers, volume and economies of scale, RVs simply cost less with us. So make sure we're your first call. We want to have customers for life We want to take care of you. We want to take the hassle out of RVing because we do everything at all of our locations. Paint and body, service, storage, sales, wash and detail, you name it, we do it. We've got paint booths for the 45-foot coaches. There's not too many dealers out there that can say that. So we can take care of all of your RV needs. One-stop shop. Just give us a call. Now remember, we can finance these coaches for 20 years. 20 years. So what are you waiting for? Don't wait for those 20 years to go by. Let's get into an RV today. We take in trades, consignments, you name it. We're going to try to make it easy and help you get into the coach of your dreams. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, just hit the like and subscribe. Also hit that little bell so that you get notified when a new video drops. Then go check out my RVing 101 series, our paint and body series, and our AIM Club. Thanks so much for watching and have a fabulous day.